Welcome back, everyone, to Bogart on Movies. This week, we're going to look at two great movies. Billy Wilder's classic film noir, Double Indemnity. I can't believe Barbara Stanwyck never won an Oscar. She's fantastic in this. And for my pick, Jonathan Demme's Silence of the Lambs. Demme, Jodie Foster, and Anthony Hopkins win Oscars for this one. We'll also take a couple of your emails, and of course, we'll have Carla's campy picks. But first, a movie I didn't think I'd like. It's called Safe Haven. I really didn't know much about Julianne Hough, except she won Dancing with the Stars twice, and now she's dating Ryan Seacrest. And I thought it would just be another sappy romance. Well, I was pleasantly surprised.
Let me check you out. Rice? Oh, basmati, the king of rices. Yeah. I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
How you liking Southport?
It's definitely a change of pace.
From what?
I've had things happen to me in the past, things that still scare me.
Giving up, say you'll always try to be my helping hand.
Can you go to the beach with us?
Hey, Lexi, she's not coming with us.
Actually, that sounds really nice.
I gotta go. Oh, you're breaking up. We're going, Amy!
Yeah.
Do you know this woman?
He's here.
I gotta get out of here. It's everything that I was afraid of.
There's no safer place than here with me.
As you saw, it's based on the Nicholas Sparks novel about a woman trying to escape an abusive, alcoholic husband. That's well played by David Lyons. And she lands in this small North Carolina beach town, would that we all could live there, where she meets up with Alex, who just lost his wife to cancer.
So why Southport?
This looks like this. Just a clean, empty canvas.
You're just starting over.
You know, sort of. Kind of was just looking for a change, and I always wanted to live in a small town, so.
Well, you found one.
It is pretty small.
Yeah, a little too sleepy sometimes, if you ask me.
Well, mosh pits are overrated, so.
Yeah, but it's nice. You'll like it. Are you staying, or you just passing through, or what's your story?
So many questions.
Josh Duhamel is the name in this, and he does an excellent job, but the star of this movie is Julianne Hough. To me, there's just something about her that's so engaging. Her acting was good, and it will get better. She's absolutely beautiful, but she's also got that certain something you can't teach. The camera really loves her.
I like it here.
I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
If I could, maybe I'd give you my world.
Did you leave this outside my house last night?
It was just sitting in my shed. I see you walking every day. It's perfect for you.
I appreciate it, but I can't take it.
All right.
Why won't you let him get to know you?
I've had things happen to me in the past.
Open up, everything's waiting for you.
Did you hear about his wife? She passed away a few years ago.
Look, the movie's schmaltzy, it's predictable, the critics panned it, but you know what? I liked it. It's nice, it's affirming, and the heck with everyone else. I'm giving it a 3.5. Seeing a future star in her beginning is worth the price of the movie. And now I reluctantly turn to the college romp 21 and Over. It's kind of a young people's hangover. Directed by Scott Moore and John Lucas, it's about a college student who's turning 21 years old, and on the eve of his big medical school interview, his friends come by to take him out and get him legally drunk.
Chang!
Yeah! What's up, bud?
Surprise, buddy!
Come here. Bring it in.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Wow,
Hey, guys.
man.
Nice place.
Guys.
I really appreciate you coming all the way down here, but
Do you have any weed?
seriously, I can't go out tonight. Okay, I have my biggest med school interview ever tomorrow morning.
Jeff Chang, you're 21 years old, man. Your dad isn't here anymore.
Gentlemen.
Nice to see you again, Dr. Chang. How's Kathy? I mean, Mrs. Chang. I mean, Dr. and Mrs. Chang.
You still owe me $17.50 for that hole in my fence, Altman.
Really, that was from like 8th grade.
Your interview with Dr. Collins is at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Jeff Chang, you need to sit down.
No.
Come on. Come on. Just take a seat, please. Jeff Chang, this isn't just any birthday, okay? This is your 21st birthday.
Here we go.
This is the day that you become a man. In the United States of America, bald eagles and Budweiser, you go out and drink. If we were in Africa, you would have to leave the village and not come back till you killed a bear.
None of that is true.
There's no bears in Africa?
No.
Really?
You have to read a book.
Whatever, I'm taking you out whether you want to or not. I hear you, this thing is to stop! That's what I'm saying.
Just one beer. One beer.
That's all I wanted. We'll take care of
That's
you.
it, man.
Nothing's gonna happen to you. You're my little baby tonight.
Now, the acting in this movie actually wasn't bad. Miles Teller, Skylar Astin, Justin Chong, all not bad. But the movie, oh, the movie. This was supposed to be a comedy, and I did not laugh once. Even movie 43, which I also hated, had a couple of laughs. This one, not.
Top floor, baby. Top floor.
What the hell is this?
Congratulations, players. You've completed the Tower of Power.
You PJ Brill?
Please, call me Tower Master.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Now, here is your reward.
Gold beads. Went through your whole little rat race here. I'm all excited. Get to the top floor and look at this. Of a baby Wizard Elvis with gold beads.
This was so bad. I hated this movie. I found it stupid, predictable, raunchy, racist, and worst of all, unfunny. I hope it's not because I'm not 21 anymore and haven't been for a long time, but I give it a big fat 0. And now to 2 movies on cable, neither one of them worth your money. The first is Inescapable, and with Marissa Tomei high on the credits, I like Marissa Tomei, so I figured it might be good, so I gave it a look-see. Big mistake.
I'm surprised, very surprised you're here. I may decide to have you arrested.
I'm not leaving without my daughter.
She did not understand the danger she was in.
You told her about me?
You were accused of being his...
We've been watching you. The streets are crawling with secret police. And if they find me here, they will kill me.
I am doing everything in my power to help you.
The truth doesn't matter here. I thought your daughter understood that.
Stop asking questions and just leave.
Your daughter is a spy. You're a spy.
Directed by Canadian Ruba Nada, the idea is pretty good. Syrian American with a past going back to his country to find his missing daughter. But ideas do not a movie make. The acting, especially Alexander Siddig, is just bad. Marissa playing his former Syrian lover Fatima, is just not in it much at all. I guess they needed a name to get people like me to watch it. Well, I've done your work for you. I give it a 1. And that high only because the look and some of the stuff about Syria was very interesting. And now on to Atlas Shrugged Part 2. Based on Ayn Rand's 1,000-page mega novel, Atlas Shrugged.
A device harvesting limitless energy without fossil fuels.
We're so close to having something they won't be able to fight.
They will try like hell to stop you.
Ms. Taggart, I think everyone agrees that capitalism doesn't work.
You don't understand the power they have. The government takes what they want and taxes what they leave behind.
One of these days, you're gonna have to decide which side you're on.
It's obvious that drastic measures have to be taken.
The book, published in 1957, is amazingly relevant today. The global economy collapsing, government intrusion into our lives, high unemployment. But this is a movie, and not a good one. I will say I like Part 1, but none of the actors were carried over to Part 2. This one was made on the cheap. No passion, bunch of no-name actors, and it's dull. Basically, it's very long and not very good. A deadly combination. It gets another 1 from me. Read the book, if you can. I'll be back in a moment with a look at a classic on Bogart on Movies.
I really do enjoy volunteering. I volunteer for a number of organizations that include a museum, which is in my community, and driver safety classes aimed at senior citizens. I like to think that I have made a difference, and I think that's enough. I don't need to be patted on the back. Some of the values that I have now came to me from PBS. I really enjoy the documentaries from Ken Burns. We don't change the television station when those things are on. I've included my PBS station in my future plans. It's not a big gift, but something that will help them. You do not have to be rich to give a planned gift. Every little bit helps. If we can do a whole lot of little bits, then we've done a great service.
Tonight in our classic movie segment, we're going to have fun with film noir, 1944's Double Indemnity.
You handle just automobile insurance or all kinds?
All kinds. Fire, earthquake, theft, public liability, group insurance, industrial stuff, and so on right down the line.
Accident insurance?
Accident insurance? Sure, Mr. Dietrichson. Wish you'd tell me what's engraved on that anklet.
Just my name.
As for instance?
Tell us.
Tell us, huh? I think I like that.
But you're not sure.
I'd have to drive it around the block a couple of times.
Mr. Neff, why don't you drop by tomorrow evening around 8:30? He'll be in then.
Who?
My husband. You were anxious to talk to him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, but I'm sort of getting over the idea, if you know what I mean.
There's a speed limit in this state, Mr. Neff. 45 miles an hour.
How fast was I going, officer?
I'd say around 90.
Suppose you get down off your motorcycle and give me a ticket.
Suppose I let you off with a warning this time.
Suppose it doesn't take.
Suppose I have to whack you over the knuckles.
Suppose I bust out crying and put my head on your shoulder.
Suppose you try putting it on my husband's shoulder.
The crackling screenplay was co-written by the legendary writer-director Billy Wilder, certainly one of the most respected and the best directors and writers Hollywood has ever seen. Wilder also directed the movie, and novelist Raymond Chandler, who also created Detective Philip Marlowe, played, by the way, by my father in The Big Sleep. It stars Fred MacMurray. You'll see him in a totally different light from the Stephen Douglas we know from TV's My Three Sons. The vastly underrated and wonderful Barbara Stanwyck and Edward G. Robinson, who really makes the movie come to life. Check out this scene for vintage Edward G.
Hello, Keys. What's on your mind?
That broken leg. The guy had a broken leg.
What are you talking about?
Talking about Dietrichson. He had accident insurance, didn't he?
Yeah.
Then he broke his leg, didn't he?
So what?
And he didn't put in a claim. Why didn't he put in a claim? Why?
What are you driving at?
Walter, I had dinner 2 hours ago. And is stuck halfway.
Little man of yours is acting up again, huh?
There's something wrong with the Dietrichson case.
Why, because he didn't file a claim? Maybe he just didn't have time.
Maybe he just didn't know that he was insured. No, that couldn't be it. You delivered the policy to him personally, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got his check?
Sure I did.
Got any bicarbonate of soda?
No, I haven't.
Walter, I've been living with this little man for 26 years. He's never failed me yet. There's got to be something wrong.
Well, maybe Norton was right. Maybe it was suicide.
No, not suicide. But not an accident either.
What else?
Now look, Walter. A guy takes out an accident policy that's worth $100,000 if he's killed on the train. Then 2 weeks later, he is killed on the train. And not in a train accident, mind you, but falling off some silly observation car. You know what the mathematical probability of that is? 1 out of, I don't know how many billions. And add to that the broken leg. No, it just can't be the way it looks. Something has been worked on us.
Such as what? Murder?
Don't you have any peppermint or something?
Oh, sorry. Want a little soda water?
No.
Who do you suspect?
Well, maybe I like to make things easy for myself, but I always tend to suspect the beneficiary.
You mean the wife?
Yeah, that wide-eyed dame that just didn't know anything about anything.
Oh, you're crazy, Key. She wasn't even on the train.
I know she wasn't, Walter. I don't claim to know how it was worked or who worked it, but all I know is that it was worked. I've got to get to a drugstore. This thing feels like a hunk of concrete inside me. Good night, Walter.
Good night, Keys.
The movie's about McMurray as the dark and kind of psycho insurance agent, Robinson as his boss, and Stanwyck, I always loved Barbara Stanwyck, at her best as the housewife, who we find out wants her husband dead. So she buys an insurance policy on his life with double indemnity.
It's me I'm talking about. I don't want to be left out of it.
Stop saying that. It's just that it hasn't worked out as we wanted. We can't go through with it, that's
We
all.
have gone through with it, Walter. The tough part is all behind us. We just have to hold on now and not go soft inside. Stick close together the way we started out.
Won't you?
I loved you, Walter, and I hated him. But I wasn't going to do anything about it, not until I met you. You planned the whole thing. I only wanted him dead.
And I'm the one that fixed it so he was dead. Is that what you're telling me?
And nobody's pulling out. We went into this together and we're coming out at the end together. It's straight down the line for both of us. Remember?
That's great film noir music. This is film noir at its best, directed by a real legend. Hope you enjoy it. Well, now it's time to dip into the Bogart mailbox. Baby Calling writes to me on YouTube, "The show is great. Thank you. And your parents are amazing people. Thank you again." I didn't really have much to do with that. And then Baby Calling asks, "What's your favorite Lauren Bacall film?" Well, first of all, I should point out that my father's nickname from my mother was Baby. But my favorite Lauren Bacall film, I always say, is To Have and Have Not. Because without that movie, I wouldn't be here. Now, Elaine and Fred in Lake Worth write, in a letter no less, "We enjoy your candor and that you're not afraid to speak your mind about the duds." Well, Elaine and Fred, I call them as I see them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be serving you very well, would I? I try to point out the ones you should see and the ones you shouldn't see, and my picks are stuff that you'd like to go back and see again. You can email me, send me your comments and questions to stevebogart@wxel.org, and include your name and your hometown. Now it's time to have some fun with Carla's Campy Picks. The two this week have special meaning to me. The first is famous. It's the 1936 classically bad Reefer Madness. I have an original poster for this so terrible it's funny movie. Made when our country was struggling to come out of the Depression, Reefer Madness could have sent it right back. The second one, The Beach Girls and the Monster, is special because it has music by Frank Sinatra Jr. Frank's a friend of mine. He has been for years. He almost became my stepbrother, but that's another story for another time. Wait till you hear his music in this discovery by Carla. Take a look at these. First, Reefer Madness.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure. but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide, and the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding sea. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy and
What do you make of this? Where does the other end go? It dumps into the ocean.
It looks exactly like the South American Fantigua fish. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff.
I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death.
The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr.
You got a monster in the surf. Yeah, yeah.
Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach. If you see this ghoul, play it cool. Beauties in bikinis, laughing, singing, surfing, sinning. Beach party lovers making hey hey in the moonlight while the monster waits and watches. Yeah. This one will kill you.
How great was Reefer Madness? But I can't wait to get in touch with Frank to needle him about his great musical score for The Beach Girls and the Monster. Why he wasn't nominated for an Oscar, I have no idea. This week in Steve's Real Hits, we highlight my favorite actress, except for Lauren Bacall, of course, she's my mother, Jodie Foster, as FBI agents Clarice Starling and Anthony Hopkins as the terrifying Hannibal Lecter in 1991's Silence of the Lambs. Clarice?
You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
He's past the others. The last cell. I'll be watching. You'll do fine.
A killer is on the loose.
Keeps them alive for 3 days. Then he shoots them, skins them, and dumps them.
A rookie FBI agent is on his trail.
He's got real physical strength, cautious, precise, and he's never impulsive. He'll never stop.
But in order to track him down, she'll have to match wits.
I'll help you catch him, Clary. Believe me, you don't want Hannibal Lecter inside your head.
With the darkest of all minds.
Just do your job, but never forget what he is.
Oh, he's a monster. Pure psychopath. So rare to capture one alive.
So close to the way you're gonna catch him. Do you realize that? Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
You told me you don't spook easily.
You call this easy, sir?
Lecter's missing hand arm. Man's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
I met Jodie Foster once when I went to the Oscars. I was tongue-tied and she was so gorgeous and so nice. Anyway, this was only the third movie to win Oscars in all 5 categories. Best Picture, Best Actress and Actor for Jodie and Anthony Hopkins, Best Director, Jonathan Demme, and Best Screenplay, Ted Talley. My favorite line in the movie, Hannibal Lecter. A census taker tried to test me. I ate his liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. Have a nice dinner. Thanks for watching. Next week, we're gonna smell what The Rock is cooking. And it tastes pretty good. And we hit the waves with movies about a submarine and another about surfing. We'll also have my take on the sweeping classic movie How the West Was Won, and a Steven Spielberg blockbuster that made us all scared to go in the water. We'll answer your email and have Carlas campy picks, including one starring a great actor who played a tree in real life and starred in a terrible, cheesy sci-fi flick. See you next week.